Check out Wolf Point. It's available now on Amazon. How nice is it to get the first copies? I love it. So check out Wolf Point. You'll like it.
Hey, man, that's the voice of our resident physician and author. You know him from all sorts of TV shows and from The View to NBC to VH. Man, he's done it all, but he's here to help us out today. He's a man of his word, Tracy G. I said, let's do it monthly, Dr. Ian Smith. He said, make it happen, and here he is. For this month's edition of Dr. Ian Smith on Sway in the Morning. Give it up for the one and only Dr. Ian Smith.
Hey, what up, Doc?
What's up, fam?
Hey.
What's up,
What's up, man? How you been?
I'm good, man. A lot happening. I was in New York the other day doing something with Stray, and it was good to be back in the city. In fact, I posted on Instagram, you know, the more I try to get out, the more they drag me back into the streets. But
Yeah.
yeah, but it was good to see the city again. I missed the city.
I was thinking about you, too, because I was out and about in the city last week, and, you know, I was having a little anxiety, Dr. Ian Smith. I was having some anxiety about being in social circles in the abundance that I was in, surrounded by so many people. It's been so long, you know, and all of these, you know, regulations are being lifted. All of these, you know, rules have been lifted. And I was in the Bay this weekend, and nobody had on a mask. Are we clear?
No, we're not clear for sure. I mean, that's the mistake that people are making. We're not clear. We're better. We're way better than we were before. There's no doubt about it. But clear is a big word. Think about it. We got all these variants that are still cropping up. There's a new variant that's cropped up in India that for sure will make its way over here because of travel. So, no, we're not clear, but we're in a really good situation. And I got to tell you, you know, I've taken my mask off around other vaccinated people. It's been great. But when I do go into confined areas like a grocery store or something like that, I definitely still wear my mask. But in the street, walking around, I don't wear a mask. So we're better, but I'm worried about people saying we're clear. We're not clear yet.
We're not clear. Okay, that's no. Dr. Ian right here. Matter of fact, I'm opening up the phone lines. Get this advice from Dr. Ian. Anything you want to ask about. If you got a heart murmur, if you got a toe ache, if you got a, if you got a runny nose, whatever it is, I'm gonna open up these phone lines. 888.
Or you love fiction. Or you want to write a novel.
If you want to write a novel, that's because this man does it all. So 888-742-3345. I always ask you, where do you find the time to write? And is it why is it so important for you to continue to release these novels?
Yeah, well, first of all, I love novels. I love mysteries. Most of what I watch on Netflix are crime dramas, mysteries like that. It's just I love it. Wolf Point, which you played earlier on my Instagram, I get my first copies of my advanced copies of it. Wolf Point is, you know, the second book in my Ash Kane series. A brother who's a detective, former detective from Chicago Police Department. But listen, I write all hours. I was up 3 o'clock in the morning writing. When you're a writer, it's like an artist. Whenever you get moved to do something, you do it. And so many people, by the way, are so excited for the book too. The first book was called The Unspoken, you guys remember. Mm-hmm. So many people have emailed me and texted me or DM'd me on Instagram asking me when is the next book coming out. So I was excited to say Wolf Point will be here October 5th. People can pre-order it now, and I'm going to do a lot of fun stuff, helping people out lose weight for those who pre-order my book. So, you know, you just find you make time to find the time. You know how it is.
Yeah, man. He mentioned it. He said lose weight. Tracy, go ahead. I don't want to. Tracy.
Well, I'm gonna stall on that question for a second because I think Dr. Ian Smith that there's two types of writers, or definitely writers that you fall into the category of that are like, yo, I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna make sure I schedule my time. When I moved, I write. And then there are a lot of writers who hate being writers, and a part of the process they have to embrace is that they're gonna procrastinate every time they sit down. They're gonna have imposter syndrome. It's always gonna feel like it's the first time that they're writing it down. Do you ever experience that at all?
I never, but let me tell you what my tip is. And you know, it doesn't work for everybody, but this is my tip for people. I write my books in my head first. So I spend a long time thinking about the plot, the characters, the locations. I'm very visual. So I think about all these things. I almost see it like a movie in my head. And when I get that kind of visualization and I feel like it's pretty complete, then I sit down and basically transcribe what's already in my head. And so I never have writer's block. I never sit down and worry nothing's going to come out because I got so much stuff already in my head. And that's something I developed. I know for some other people, they like to outline their books. I don't outline my books. Some people need to do that, but I don't do that. To me, if I outline a book, then when I sit down to write, it's not as creative. It's like just kind of like I'm following a templated situation. For me, it's like all in my head. Then I sit down to a blank computer screen, and I just let it go.
You're very one of a kind, Dr. Ian Smith.
Dr. Ian Smith.
Count your many blessings, sir.
Absolutely, man. Look, we got a lot of people online right now that want to ask you some questions. And also, I want to encourage y'all to hit him up directly. Tell him how they can reach you. You don't have to hear him just here. He's available every day.
Yeah, on Instagram is at Dr. Ian Smith. Spell the doctor out, I-A-N Smith. And if you're on Facebook, you can join my new group to lose weight. It's called Fast Burn, which is my book, Fast Burn Challenge on Facebook.
All right. Now, G is on the line from Connecticut. I was just talking about this issue he has with a friend of mine in the Bay. G, Grand Risings. G, how you doing?
Hey, G.
Good in you, Sway. Good. How you doing, Tracy G? Just right quick, I just want to say I met you guys at that comedy show a couple years ago in New York. Got pictures with you, and it was much love, man. I appreciate you guys so much.
Oh, Carolines. Absolutely, man. Good to hear your voice, G. Go for it.
Likewise. Hi, Dr. Ian. I just want to ask you. I'm 50, but I broke my leg when I was younger, so my right leg is maybe like a centimeter shorter than my left leg, and as I'm getting a bulging disc in my back. I went to therapy, went to see my doctor, and they say at my age that the surgery wouldn't be helpful. So I just want to know your advice on that or anything, because it kind of bothers me at night when I'm sleeping, and so if you have any advice on that.
Wait, hold on. How old are you?
I just turned 50 last year.
So they said to you, you have a bulging disc. Is it actually touching one of your nerves, the disc itself?
No, I don't think it is. It's just the pain, because they when I went to my doctor to see about it, they said, they sent me to my massage therapist, and then they just gave me little works to do, the ball, the rubber band, and then I asked them about surgery, and they were just like, well, if you've been living like this at this age, my advice is not to do the surgery because it could make it worse. So I just took their advice.
Did they do an MRI?
Yes, they did. Uh-huh.
Okay,
yes,
listen. Let me explain something to you. First of all, I'm very confused by someone saying that 50 is too old to do surgery. I just had my golf partner, who's 53, had a similar situation and just had a very minimally invasive procedure. It feels great. Pain is gone. Walking better. These are things you need to know. I mean, it's hard to do this in such a short period of time. Number one, you need to know exactly what the MRI results say. You need to know whether or not that if it's one or more discs that's in your back that's bulging, and then you need to find out whether or not the disc is actually pressing on a nerve, because that is what causes the pain. Your disc is inside of your spinal column, and sometimes as we get older or we tweak our back a little bit, we twist it the wrong way, that disc can slide out and touch a nerve that's running along the spinal column, and that causes the pain. It can cause numbness. It can cause loss of sensation. I mean, all kinds of problems. So you need more information about whether or not the disc is protruding, you call it bulging also, and if it's touching a nerve. If that's the case and your function is being compromised tremendously, then you need to go to an orthopedic surgeon, have an orthopedic surgeon look at the MRI and advise you as to whether or not you should try conservative therapy, which probably won't work since you've had it for so long, or if you should look for something that's minimally invasive. But for someone to say to you, you're too old, it's been too long to address this issue, I categorically disagree with it, because I know of many cases where people at this age have this problem. They get a minimally invasive surgery and they feel much better.
Hey, Dr. Ian, would you recommend, like in cases like this, people get a second opinion?
Always get a second opinion. And it's not that one doctor is better than the other. It's that it's almost like art. It's how you see art can be different. Two doctors who are very good can see the problem in a different way and think of different solutions. So so you should always look for a second opinion. In this case in particular, I would definitely get a second opinion because I don't have all the facts, but they're not adding up for me.
Okay, AG, make sure you follow Dr. Ian too, man. Follow him at Dr. Ian Smith. All right, and AG, this is an even barter. He doesn't know about this. This is just me suggesting it. Since he gave you that free advice, make sure you pre-order his book, Wolf Point. Okay, all right. Okay, he had nothing to do with that. Okay, just to say it for the record.
My man.
All right. Okay, G, you a citizen, G.
That's way to put
My
it.
man, G. Yo, Dr. Ian, man, I was thinking about you because since we talked last time, I started changing my diet a little bit. I start eating a little less, but nothing's happening. Now, I haven't started exercising. I'm supposed to start that this week.
Yo, Sway, what about them times that you would start the show saying, I just got off my Peloton. I'm feeling great.
I wasn't consistent enough, Tracy. Like, I think Peloton is something you got to do consistently. You can't do once a week and expect results. I realized that. I was testing it out. And so.
You know what, Sway, I tell you what, though. I can get 3 pounds off of you without exercising in 5 days.
Say word. I'll do it right now. I'll start tomorrow.
Okay, it's on my Instagram.
Okay.
Look. It's called. It says 5-day plateau buster. It's on my Instagram feed. Okay. It's 5 days. There's a link in my bio. 5 days. I bet you can get 3 pounds off with no exercise.
Okay. Is it okay? I'm on your.
And
Instagram.
how he gonna keep it off though, Dr. Ian? Because a lot of people could lose weight.
That's the second part. That's the second part. Let me get him in the door first.
All right.
Okay. I gotta bring him in first. Then we can go to that part of it.
Yeah,
okay, I see you moves.
He gonna trick me in there. And then let me ask you this: what foods? Because I was having this conversation with a friend of mine, and it got real personal. It got kind of intimate, in terms of sex and stuff. Getting older, he's in his mid-40s, and he was talking about how things have changed. He can't even eat the same food at night and expect the same performance.
Yeah.
So what foods, if somebody is getting older and the libido is probably getting slower, how do foods work? What should you stay away from necessarily, or what actually helps you?
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, by the way, because people in general, by the way, your libido, and most people, not everybody obviously, but in most people, your libido goes down. But there are some things that can help. Aphrodisiac fruits can help, some chocolate. There's a supplement called yohimbine that can work. People need to actually reduce the amount of intake of alcohol. That too much alcohol can actually affect your libido. And so if people look at those things, and by the way, the fruits, I'm talking things like figs, bananas, avocados. Those are considered to be aphrodisiacs or foods that actually boost your libido. And even chocolate. I mean, chocolate's good. Chocolate releases these chemicals called phenylethylamine and serotonin. And when it does that, that helps to lift your mood and helps to lift your sex drive. So there are definitely things you do. But people also need to make sure that they don't suffer from ED, as you know, erectile dysfunction, which happens for a lot of men because of our vascular circulation, in our penis and around there. So you got to be careful of that also. But those are some things you can do. And, of course, the pill, we all know about the blue pill. But, you want to try to do it without that as long as you can.
Okay. ED. I always thought ED was just some branding term that was made up by pharmaceutical companies to get men to buy the pill.
No, it's a real, many men, it happens. And basically, can I say this? Can I speak?
Yes.
Yeah, basically, it's the inability to either get or even keep an erection during intercourse. Sometimes we call it impotence. Someone's impotent. They can't get erect or they can't stay erect. But it's very common. It's all about blood flow, by the way. Because remember, an erection occurs because of blood flow into your penis. The blood flows into your penis, and then the blood stays there. Your blood vessels kind of lock down and keep it there so that, you have the erection. And then after you orgasm, then the valves open back up and the blood comes out of the penis. And that's why, you're no longer erect. And people who have high blood pressure or blood vessel disease like atherosclerosis, where they have plaque in their blood vessels, your penis has blood vessels, and if those blood vessels are diseased, then you have problem establishing or holding an erection.
Okay. Yeah, man. You writing that down, Tracy? I was writing that down. Send me your notes.
I don't know if I need to. You know what, though? It just made me, I guess, veering into men's lifestyle. It made me think, Dr. Ian Smith, I'd love to hear your opinion on Alex Rodriguez. And he is doing a collaboration with that brand, Hims and Hers, but being with the him side. And he basically is now going to have a product that's concealer for men. And, a lot of people ran with it and just said, okay, now you're making makeup for men. And we did poll the citizens to see who would be interested and who wouldn't. I feel like some men would use this on the low. They just probably wouldn't become influencers for it. But what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like it's probably going to take over on the low?
Well, I'm a little different because I wear makeup. You know, I do TV. I'm on TV, so I can even do my own makeup. I wear foundation. I wear concealers. I do all that myself because, you know, with high-def television, I've been a reporter for many years. I'm out in the field. I got to do my own stuff.
Yes.
So I'm a little biased. I think it's completely fine. But I think that on the low, I think men are going to do it. I mean, you can't really tell. It looks great, by the way. And, you know, thankfully we're in an age where it's not about masculinity and femininity. It's about what works, right? Mm-hmm. And if you want to look good and look your best, you know, a little concealer, you know, that doesn't hurt. It doesn't define your masculinity one way or another. And I think that I'm happy we're getting away from this business about, only women do stuff like that. That being said, what's going on with A-Rod? Like, this guy's everywhere. He just bounces from thing to thing. I can't figure this dude out. I'm serious. I just don't. I'm not against him doing this, by the way. By all means, you know, do your thing. But at a side topic, A-Rod he's just everywhere. I don't. Who is A-Rod?
Yeah.
Who is I mean, legit,
that should be the title of your next book, Dr. E. Smith.
Who is A-Rod, man? Like, what are we witnessing here?
Yes, you can do an unauthorized biography.
Come on, we all up in his personal life, his breakups, his, you know.
I mean, some of those tuxedos he was wearing, and he's at the Met. I don't know. He's trying to buy the Mets. This dude's all over the place. I don't know, man.
He's a serial entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You know, A-Rod's a go-getter. You know, he excels at everything he's done.
Multifaceted.
Who is A-Rod? Hey, so we got a lot of folks on the line. Maybe they can answer that question.
Right.
We got Janet on the line from Tennessee. Janet, Grand Risings, how you doing?
Yo.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm so glad that I got through. I really enjoyed this segment of your show whenever it happens.
Thank you.
My husband has been shot 5 times. It was in his youth. He's now in his 50s. One time he was shot in the back. He was paralyzed for a year, was not supposed to ever walk again. He was 17 at the time, so it was during his growing period. So his left leg is about an inch shorter than the right leg. We use a lift in the shoe to try to help with the imbalance, but he has a lot of hip and back pain because of that difference in height. So I was wondering if anything can be done about that. And with that bullet, it hit him in the back, and it was kind of lodged close to his heart, so they couldn't remove it. The last time he had an X-ray, which was about 2 years ago, it had migrated to the right hip. So we keep a close eye on that bullet to make sure that it doesn't, I guess, bounce around and hit something important. But should we have that taken out or just keep a close eye on it?
Wow, these are 2 great questions. Let me go to the first part of the question, which is, what can you do about the imbalance? So, you know, this is an old injury, which is unfortunate because a lot of the progress you can make is early in the injury, right after the injury happens. And I'm not sure if he had the proper follow-up on it, but right away when someone has a leg length discrepancy when they're younger, you want to try to fix it right away. You fix it through inserts. Sometimes there are prosthetics you may use. I mean, there are all kinds of things you can do to fix that imbalance, because what happens is, and this happens when people have, for example, a knee problem. You know, like when someone has a right knee problem, they start favoring it, and they affect their left hip because they're not walking normally. And unfortunately, in this case, it sounds like his leg length discrepancy was not fixed right away or adequately enough, and therefore now he's developed all these postural changes in his physical skeleton. And unfortunately, there's not much you can do about it now, but that being said, what you can do is you can look at, if it's a hip issue that he's having right now, you can look at ways, postural ways, and by the way, this is why you need to go to a physical therapist or rehab doctor. Rehab doctors are the ones, physiatrists are called, they're the ones that can actually help with his skeletal mechanics. This is all biomechanics right now, by the way, in what he's experiencing. And so, yeah, it's been a while. I'm not sure how much relief he'll be able to get, but he will get some relief by seeing a physiatrist, not a psychiatrist, a physiatrist, a rehab doctor who can help with his mechanics, okay? That's number one. Number two, as far as the bullet that is still in there, sometimes when people get shot and bullets are very close to major arteries or major organs, the going in to remove it is too much of a risk rather than just leaving it alone. But understand something. Ideally, you want to remove any foreign object from the body, which a bullet is, because it could become a source of infection. The body may start rejecting it. And so if the bullet, as you say, has migrated away from a major blood vessel and a major organ, I'm always a fan of removing it. That's just, I'm old school like that. It doesn't belong in the body. Take it out. And I think if it's in an area that's easily accessible without hitting a nerve or an artery or an organ, I say remove it, because it will, in some cases, it will keep moving around. And what you don't want is for it to press up against something, and that has some kind of effect, like a nerve or a blood vessel. So I would say remove it if you can, if it's easy to get to.
All right, Janet.
Okay.
And
Thank
then also,
you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Yep.
And I mean, Dr. Ian, you're a gift, man. I appreciate you because you go into detail. And Janet, follow him, okay? Because this information that he has is available for all of you citizens. Follow him at Dr. Ian Smith. You just spell out doctor. And he got his book, Fast Burn, The Power of Negative Energy Balance. That's out now. You can pre-order the Wolf Point book, which is set to release in October. And Janet, you can stay in tune with him. Since you met him through us, he'll be cool to you.
There it is.
Oh, that's
right.
so good. I really, really appreciate you guys and your show and all these little topics and the experts that you bring on. This is the best show going.
Thank you. Make sure you tell them. Write Sirius XM, too.
Right.
See if they can pay us like the best show going. All right, Janet? You a citizen.
Sway in the morning.
Love you.
Get some of that Howard Stern money.
That's what hey, man. You said it. Why
Dr.
not?
Ian Smith be on it, yo.
Yeah, hey, man. He said, who is A-Rod? Who else you curious about right now that's out there?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, come on. This whole J-Lo and Ben Affleck thing. Come on. I mean, seriously, first of all, I like J-Lo, so this is not, for all the J-Lo fans, I'm not hating on J-Lo at all. I like J-Lo. She's had a great career. She's very versatile. I just don't get, you have this huge public thing with A-Rod. You guys are all over the world together. You can't keep your hands off each other. And then you guys break up after saying you're back together, and then you go right to Ben Affleck, who's been with 20 people over the last 4 months. I don't understand. I just don't understand that. You don't want to know what not say it. It feels to me like the best way to hurt the other person, the best way to hurt A-Rod is to go back to your own old flame, right? All the guys out there or girls, whoever you want, who's available to you, and you go back to Ben Affleck. Once again, nothing against Ben either, right? But yeah. I just don't get that. I don't get it. It's just messy.
Let me offer this. She been there before. She know what she getting with Ben. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a long-term investment. I think she probably just wanted to feel good.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
Hey, Sway. A lot of people. I know a lot of guys that make her feel real good.
Wow, Dr. Ian Smith. Listen, a lot of people be having a backup plan. You know what I'm saying?
That's all it is.
She had her locket secured.
She know what she getting. She ain't got to worry. She ain't got to worry about nobody, copy and pasting her DMs and go.
That's true. In all honesty, I'm not against J-Lo or Ben Affleck or A-Rod. I just, you just make you just think about things, right? I don't, to each his own. They can do whatever they want to do. It's their business. It's not my business. I don't want people sending me DMs talking about you don't have a right. No, I'm not. I'm just observing. I'm just observing. That's all.
That's your personal observation. I asked, and so we got to answer, man. Listen, I love this. You gonna come back next month?
Come on. Why would you even ask that question? That's offensive.
There you go.
Of course I am.
Come on, man. Citizens, JD from Cleveland, Kevin in New York, Javon in Maryland, Wolf in Wisconsin, Enoch in North Carolina. Dr. Ian Smith is online right now. Hit him up. Give out your address one more time.
Yeah, at Dr. Ian Smith. Spell the doctor out, I-A-N Smith. You can DM me and join my Facebook group. It's called Fast Burn Challenge. Next time we do this, we got to agree we're going to do at least 5 questions, and I'll be shorter in my answers because I want to get to at least 5 questions each time, okay?
Okay, great. No problem. We'll
right,
work in
y'all.
progress. And then I'm going to go to Instagram and let you know when I try the 3-pound challenge, all right?
Oh, yeah. It's a 5-day challenge, a 5-day plateau buster.
And I'm going to lose 3 pounds. Okay, great.
There you go.
Dr. Ian Smith, thank you, sir. We appreciate you. All
Much
right.
love, y'all.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
man.
Much
Have a
love.
good day.